Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today is slightly sad news. Now, some of you probably already guessed this already or have seen me speaking about it, but today it's been made official. Unfortunately, Den, the people behind these home automation switches and devices, have officially ceased trading and are now in the hands of liquidators. So, long story short, up towards the end of September, early October, the service was getting intermittent glitches and was starting to not work as intended. The switches themselves didn't have any problems, but the automation didn't work as intended. You could still use the switches by pressing the on-off buttons, all those kinds of things, but the service did become very, very patchy. So the servers were actually turned off on October the 6th, we believe, and as of today, December the 3rd, the liquidators have been called in and basically they're wrapping up the company. Now, for those of you that have already gone out and purchased these devices and are using the devices, I can't say 100% whether they're complete trash now or what's going to happen. The hope is that the liquidators will find a buyer for the company and they will take on board the intellectual properties and the servers and resume the service in some way or fashion. Again, this isn't guaranteed. This is purely speculation. I'm going to quickly go ahead through and read now what was the release on the register today in the UK, just so you can get an idea of what's going on. I'll put a link in the description below as well, so you can check out for yourselves and read any information, and obviously stay posted to see if there's any updates. Okay, so reading from the published post from the register, and you can visit this yourself, theregister.co.uk. Again, I'll put links in the description below so you can check out for yourself. The headline, Den Automation raised millions to reinvent the light switch, now it's lights out for the startup. From boy genius to oh boy. This is by Matthew Hughes and was published on the 3rd of December 2019 at 2:37 GMT. Exclusive, Den Automation, the once promising UK home startup that raised nearly 4.5 million via equity crowdfunding and boasted former Amstrad chief Bob Watkins as the CEO, has agreed to go into liquidation, the Register can report. Documents seen by this publication show that Wilkin Chapman Business Solutions Limited have been appointed liquidators, and Ian Michael Rose and Karen Tracy Potts have been named the practitioners. UK law priorities creditors according to a set order. Liquidators take precedence and shareholders get the leftover scraps. It's therefore extremely unlikely that any of the 1,104 investors who back the company on Cedars will see much or any of a return on their investment. It goes on to say about promising beginnings. Den Automation was founded in 2014 by Yasser, a 17-year-old wonder kid from Maidstone in Kent who came up with the idea for the business while studying for his A-levels. Katak subsequently dropped out to focus on business full-time. Now, the concept was pretty much a simple solution: replace existing light switches with a mechanical switch which also had smart functionality. The Den switches used a proprietary wireless protocol developed in-house, and it wasn't compatible with any of the existing standards like your Zigbee or Z-Wave, but they did work with popular automation platform IFTTT, as well as Amazon Alexa and the Google Assistant. It basically goes on to say that the cracks were starting to emerge earlier on, that the hardware was actually quite a difficult thing to develop. Bringing a physical product to the market is difficult, and the manufacturers have to wrestle with supply and demand and certification issues. Den Automation was no exception. As the product neared its promised release date, it was beset with repeated delays. One delay, which added more than 8 weeks to the company's delivery schedule, was to address a flaw that could potentially result in a fire hazard, which is quite worrying. The last big delay was caused by a manufacturing defect, which would actually stop the switch from clicking off, an insider has told the Register. Essentially, as things went on, they were running out of money. On October the 6th, I believe it was, the servers actually turned off and it all went bad from there. Again, now it's December and it's official that the liquidators have been called in. So we may or may not get a result from these devices. If you are a current Den user or owner, my suggestion would be to remove the switches at the moment, put your existing ones back in, keep these in a safe place until we hear some results of the liquidation details, or if the company gets bought or anything like that. The hope is that someone will come along and pick it up, because it is actually a really good idea, really good device, and I actually personally really liked it. But it's just a shame that the servers went offline when they did and that they ran out of money. So to those of you that have watched the video reviews and have bought them on my recommendations, all I can say is I am honestly very sorry for how this has turned out. It has affected me, possibly not as much as you if you've invested money in this. Again, I do apologise for that. But that is part and parcel of the technology business. These things do happen, services do come and go, and unfortunately some of us do get stung by it. So again, all I can do is apologise for my recommendation. I had no idea that this was going to be the outcome. My intention was that this would go on and grow into a blossoming ecosystem. But unfortunately, as it stands at the moment, that hasn't been the case. So yeah, again, all I can do is apologise, and if there are any updates, I will post them on the channel. I will be removing the existing Den videos from the channel for obvious reasons, because I don't want people to obviously try and buy these on the second-hand market when we don't know what is actually going on, and maybe some online suppliers may still have these in stock and are trying to get rid of them cheap. So do be wary if you're offered these cheap. At the moment, they do not work as intended. But again, if there are any updates, I will let you guys know as soon as possible. So again, once again, I can only apologise. That is the most I can offer you at the moment. Like I said, if anything does turn out positive, then I will let you all know. But thanks for watching.